The story of prophetess Miriam. Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to discuss the incredible story of prophetess Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, in the fertile yet oppressive land of Egypt, where the Israelites labored as slaves under Pharaoh's iron rule. A Levite family welcomed their first child, a daughter named Miriam, born to Amram and Jochebed of the tribe of Levi. As the eldest, Miriam grew up amidst the cries of her people, her young mind absorbing the weight of their bondage bricks made without straw, overseers' whips, and the constant threat of annihilation. The family's lineage traced back to Levi, one of Jacob's sons, marking them as part of a priestly tribe destined for a significant role. Years later, when Miriam was perhaps 3 or 4, her mother gave birth to her brother Aaron, a robust child who joined her in the humble household. The family's joy was short-lived, for soon after, Pharaoh, alarmed by the Israelites' increasing numbers, issued a chilling decree: every Hebrew male baby must be cast into the Nile to die. This decree set the stage for Miriam's first heroic act. When her mother, Jochebed, bore another son Moses shortly after Aaron's early years, the danger was immediate. To save him, Jochebed wove a papyrus basket, coated it with pitch and tar to make it watertight, and placed the infant among the reeds along the Nile's edge. Miriam, now a young girl of perhaps 7 or 8, took on the role of guardian, standing at a distance to watch over her brother's fragile ark. Her heart must have raced as she observed Pharaoh's daughter and her attendants approach the river. When the princess discovered the crying child, her compassion stirred, and Miriam, with remarkable boldness, stepped forward, asking, "Shall I go and call you a nurse from the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you?" With the princess's approval, Miriam fetched Jochebed, ensuring Moses was nursed by his own mother until he was weaned, a secret arrangement that preserved his life within the royal court. As Moses grew, adopted as an Egyptian prince and educated in Pharaoh's household, Miriam and Aaron remained among the Israelites, their lives shaped by slavery's toil. Miriam's early ingenuity and faith laid a foundation for her future leadership, though the Bible offers little detail of her youth. Traditions suggest she may have helped her mother and supported Aaron, fostering a deep familial bond that would later unite them in God's mission. Decades later, when Moses was 40, he killed an Egyptian taskmaster beating a Hebrew slave, an act of justice that forced him to flee to Midian. There, he married Zipporah, daughter of Jethro, and tended sheep, fathering a son. Aaron, now in his early 60s, and Miriam, perhaps in her late 60s, continued to endure Egypt's oppression. 40 years passed, and at 80, Moses encountered God in a burning bush on Mount Horeb, where God declared, "I have surely seen the affliction of my people, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians." Commissioned to confront Pharaoh, Moses hesitated, citing his slow speech, but God assured him, "I will send Aaron your brother. He can speak well." Though Miriam's direct involvement in this call is not recorded, her family's unity began to coalesce as God's plan unfolded. Aaron received a divine summons to meet Moses in the wilderness, a reunion that must have been filled with emotion after decades apart. Miriam, as the eldest sibling, likely played a supportive role, her presence a stabilizing force. Together, the brothers returned to Egypt, gathering the Israelite elders. Aaron spoke God's words with eloquence, while Moses performed miracles, turning his staff into a serpent and healing his leprous hand, winning the people's trust. Miriam, as a witness to these signs, may have encouraged her people, her early protective instincts now extending to a national deliverance. The confrontation with Pharaoh began with Aaron's demand, "Let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness." Pharaoh's refusal and the intensified labor that followed tested the Israelites' faith. With Moses and Aaron facing blame, God then unleashed the 10 plagues, with Aaron's staff initiating the first, turning the Nile to blood, followed by frogs and gnats. Moses led the later plagues: flies, livestock disease, boils, hail, locusts, and darkness, each a divine blow to Egypt's pride. After the final plague, the death of the firstborn, Averted by the Passover lamb's blood on doorposts, Pharaoh relented. The Israelites, over 600,000 men plus women and children, departed, guided by a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. At the Red Sea, as Pharaoh's chariots pursued, Moses parted the waters with his staff. A path opening on dry ground, the Israelites crossed, but the Egyptians were engulfed as the waters returned. In the wake of this miracle, Miriam stepped into the spotlight as a prophetess. Taking a timbrel, she led the women in song and dance, her voice ringing out, "Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the sea." This spontaneous celebration, echoing Moses' song, showcased her spiritual authority, complementing her brothers' roles and cementing her as a leader in Israel's liberation. The wilderness journey tested the Israelites' faith, and Miriam's leadership shone through. At Marah, where bitter waters threatened despair, Moses threw a log into the spring at God's command, making it sweet. When hunger struck, God sent quail and manna. With Aaron preserving a jar as a memorial, Miriam, alongside her brothers, reassured the people, her voice a steady presence. At Rephidim, during the Amalekites' attack, Aaron and her supported Moses' hands as he prayed, ensuring Joshua's victory. Miriam's role here is implied, her supportive spirit likely bolstering the family's efforts. At Mount Sinai, Moses ascended to receive the law, leaving Aaron and Miriam to manage the people. After 40 days, the people's impatience led Aaron to fashion a golden calf from their gold, declaring a feast. Miriam's involvement is not explicitly stated, but her silence or absence during this sin suggests she may have opposed it or been powerless to prevent it. Moses' return, the shattering of the tablets, and the plague that followed marked a collective failure, with Miriam sharing in the communal repentance through Moses' intercession. Her prophetic voice resurfaced when she, with Aaron, challenged Moses' leadership over his Cushite wife, questioning, "Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also?" This rebellion, possibly fueled by jealousy or a desire for recognition, prompted God to summon them to the tabernacle. He declared Moses' unique status, "With him I speak mouth to mouth, clearly and not in dark speeches," as punishment. Miriam was struck with leprosy, her skin turning white as snow. Aaron, in panic, pleaded with Moses, "Let her not be as one dead. Do not let her be like stillborn." Moses' prayer, "Heal her, O God, I beseech you," led to her healing after 7 days quarantine outside the camp. This episode revealed Miriam's human frailty, but also her redemption through familial love. As the Israelites approached Canaan, Miriam's leadership waned, though her influence lingered. At Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin, the people faced a water crisis. The narrative focuses on Moses and Aaron's failure at Meribah, where they struck a rock instead of speaking to it, leading to their exclusion from Canaan. Miriam's death is noted succinctly. Miriam died there and was buried, a quiet end that contrasts with her earlier vibrancy. The lack of mourning details, unlike Aaron's 30-day lament, may reflect the people's focus on survival or a narrative shift to her brothers. Her age is not specified, but if she was 7 or 8 when Moses was born and he was 80 at the Exodus, she might have been in her late 80s or early 90s. Traditions, though not in the biblical text, link a miraculous well that followed the Israelites to Miriam, called Miriam's well, providing water.